Welcome to Managing Finances in the United States, Understanding Your Paycheck and Pay Stub. I'm Maria Pepitas from the University of Delaware Cooperative Extension. And on behalf of Cultivemos, which is an organization dedicated to assisting farmers and farm workers manage stress, we are pleased to offer Managing Finances in the United States as a series of programs that help individuals who are not familiar with the U.S. financial systems. Today's topic is about understanding your paycheck and your pay stub. Your wage rate as a farm worker depends on the job you are hired to do and your experience. When you work for an employer, you are required to fill out an employment forms, and one of these forms is called a W-4 form, also called an employee's withholding certificate. Your employer and the federal government use this to estimate how much money you should pay toward taxes each pay period. You filled out this form and other forms when you started working for your employer. A wage rate is the amount of money paid to you based on a unit of time, such as hours in the day, or maybe a per unit of output if your pay is based on piecework. Each employer may be a little bit different in terms of how often you get paid. Some pay weekly, some every other week. No matter the frequency, you should receive both a paycheck and a pay stub. You may get paid in cash, or your employer may provide you with a paycheck. A paycheck is a written order signed by your employer for salary or wages, and it is made out to you, the employee. A check is used to transfer money from the employer to the employee. It can be cashed at a store that does this process for a fee, or it can be deposited into a bank account. Some employers transfer money from their bank account electronically to the employee's bank account. This is called a direct deposit. Lastly, some employers load your pay onto a payroll debit card. Employees can then use the card to pay for goods and services. Regardless of how you get paid, you should also receive a pay stub or earnings statement. This is usually a piece of paper that is given to an employee with each paycheck that provides important information about your pay and the deductions taken from your pay. It is important to review the pay stub to be sure it is accurate. If you have a question, you need to ask your employer. This slide is an example of the kind of information that would be included on a pay stub. So what kind of information does a pay stub include? So as I said, a pay stub is an earnings statement. It's a piece of paper that is given to you by your employer, and it shows the amount of money that you've made and the amount that was removed or deducted, if any, from the paycheck. There is important information on that paycheck that include these important words to know. It would certainly include your wage rate, which is the amount that you're going to be paid per hour. It will include who your employer is and who you are as an employee. It would include the total numbers of hours that you worked, any payroll deductions that are withheld from your paycheck to say pay for taxes or maybe employee benefits. It will include your gross wages, and this is the amount you earn before the taxes or benefits are taken out of your pay. The taxes are money paid to local, state, and federal governments to help run that city, that state, or that nation. Your employer may offer you employee benefits. This is a form of compensation paid by the employer to you that is over and beyond wages. Examples include health care or insurances. Net wages is the amount of money you make after all of those deductions are taken out of your earnings. And lastly, your pay stub will show you all of these items from the beginning of year. This is called year-to-date totals. In the United States, governments at various levels have taxes on earnings. There are different rates for federal or national taxes, state and local entities. Your pay stub will show you how much tax has been taken for each of these government entities. In general, the less you make, the less federal taxes will be taken out. State and local tend to be a flat percentage rate no matter how much you make. Rates can change from year to year. You can do an internet search to find out the latest tax rates for the US, as well as the states or counties or townships where you work. Sometimes people who work together compare their earnings and might find that though they have the same job, their paycheck reflects different amounts. There may be several reasons for this, including you might be working a different number of hours or producing a different number of units of harvest. It may also have to do with how you filled out the W-4 or the employee withholding certificate form. If each of you filled out this form differently due to marital status or the number of children, your paychecks would be different. Differences in the answers to those W-4 questions will create differences in earnings and taxes. There are several resources that can help you better understand your paycheck and your pay stub. There are great resources at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau website, and one specifically about taxes and your paycheck can be found there. You can also contact Farm Aid or your county extension office for more information. Lastly, contact Young Farmers Cultivamos Initiative for more information. We need to acknowledge that funding for this project came from the Northeast Farm and Ranch Stress Assistance Network grant coordinated by the National Young Farmers Coalition. This is otherwise known as Cultivamos. Content development was created by Maria Pepitas, Sheila Marshman, and Maria Gorgo. Resources offered can be copied and shared as long as they're not changed. Thank you for attending Managing Finances in the United States, Understanding Your Paycheck and Pay Stub. For more information about this topic and others in our series, please go to the Farm Aid Cultivamos website and look for farm worker resources. The URL is provided. Thank you.